Okay, so I'm Stacey Summerville. Lived here in Birmingham almost 5 years, about 4.5 years. I work at Inline Electric and Lighting. So we've got locations all over Alabama, and actually we just moved into Chattanooga, Tennessee. But what I specifically do, we're electrical and lighting distributor. What I do is I actually manage our lighting showroom here in the Birmingham area. So we're located in Pelham, but we service, I go anywhere from Gardendale to Calera, so kind of all over the place. And so as the manager, I'm also kind of the sales manager as well. So I do a lot of outside sales, working with builders, contractors, designers, all that kind of stuff. Basically doing anything they might need in the lighting, electrical world. So pretty broad, but it can be exciting. It can also be a little monotonous, but it's been good.
Well, I'm James Williams. I'm the creative director in the communications department at the Birmingham Museum of Art. I'm originally from the Birmingham area. Thought I would move far, far away, but the museum pulled me back 10 years ago. So I started as the graphic designer and slowly kind of moved up to this position. And as the graphic designer and now the creative director, I handle the design and production of any of our printed materials, marketing materials, etc. Everything from a small flyer or rat card that you pick up at the museum up to huge advertising campaigns and billboards and even catalogs. So handled a pretty wide range of things. And as sort of a department or one-person design shop, I get to handle it from the very beginning all the way through the press checks and production aspect, which is a lot more than a lot of designers in larger agency settings who have much more specific job roles. I'm more of a jack of all trades at this point.
Yeah.
And
if you've been there 10 years, for sure. You're probably like, we need you to do this, we need you to do
exactly.
that.
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of, we need to learn how to do this thing. You can do that, right? Give me a couple months, we'll figure it out. So it has been really fascinating from that point. And being a curious sort of life learner, it's nice to be able to be both in a setting where I'm learning professionally that way, kind of on my own when I have to, but also being around people like curators who are bringing a wealth of knowledge about art that I can sit and have lunch with them and talk about an exhibition that's coming up or new research on a painting, or the people in our education department who have new interpretive strategy, or bring their particular skills and knowledge to the museum and what we're doing. So it's always a fascinating and sometimes interesting group of people to be working with. Kind of an odd lot of folks here.
Yeah. So when you started 10 years ago, did you think you were going to be there for 10 years?
No.
And plus? Or
no,
what was
not
your...
at all. I really thought, I was in this little bitty agency design shop, print shop in Chattanooga, and I'd been there a couple of years, and some of our clients were it was difficult to really enjoy working for them. And this position opened at the museum, and I thought, that's a great way to get 4 or 5 years of experience, and then I'll move on to something else.
And coming back to Birmingham.
Exactly, which was kind of it was both exciting and not.
Yeah.
10 years ago, Chattanooga just finished their opening their riverfront park.
Yeah.
I was living there at what seems like Birmingham right now.
It
was kind of that.
They're very similar.
Point.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I thought, it's been really cool seeing what's happened here in Chattanooga. Yeah. Maybe I can be a part of that in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Got here. Of course, then there was a financial crisis and everything slowed down, but we kept going. And I think it was about 7 years in, I thought, I missed that 5-year deadline.
Yeah. I've been here 7 years.
Exactly. But yeah, I do really love being in downtown.
Yeah. Were you interested in art before you started working there, or was that like a plus, or was it kind of something you were seeking?
It was a plus. I don't think I would have ended up in graphic design if not for visiting museums or being interested in art as a kid. I went off to school to be an engineer. I called home one night, worried I was about to lose my scholarship. Physics was just torturing me.
Yeah.
And I found the design program and never looked back. So it's definitely, it's hard to say what came first or second.
Right.
You know, and you know, it was nice to take what I'd learned as a designer and come to an institution like the museum and really believe in what I was selling.
Right.
You know, which isn't a knock at all against, you know, friends who work in agency or in advertising.
Right.
You know, there are a lot of great agencies that do great work, great clients, but sometimes it's hard to avoid those clients. They're just a little bit of a kind of eat away at you internally.
And what you really got in the business for.
Exactly.
Kind of lose sight of that.
Right. So it's certainly, you know, that product I can sort of believe in if you think of the museum as a product. But I really do believe in the value of the arts and viewing them, and really, to me, thinking of the museum is sort of my temple.
Yeah.
And where I go to, or where before I started working there, I would go to just renew myself.
Yeah. Yeah, so my degree is interior design. Mm-hmm. So when I first got this job, it was, you know, basically sales,
right,
more focused. There were, you know, my background helped, but it wasn't like the main focus. So, you know, definitely the first year I was like, is this really what I want to be doing, or do I want to be in a design studio actually, you know, doing plans, working on CAD, that sort of thing. But when it came down to it, I think I didn't want to be like doing something that I was expected to be doing because I had this degree. It was nice to I could find my passion and that sort of thing in this other avenue. Mm-hmm. But I didn't feel like I was selling myself short or anything like that. You kind of just have to find where you can, because when it comes down to it, a job is a job. And so if you don't kind of like what you're doing, it's hard to wake up every day and go do that job. Mm-hmm. And so that was something that, you know, definitely that first year I was like, I gotta find that I can definitely, I'm growing from this, you know, personally and professionally, that sort of thing. And so, yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from with that. So,
So taking that original sort of design training, I always feel like it's as a designer, there's usually that barrier between designer and client because you always have account services or other people. But do you feel like that's kind of a good bridge now that you work sort of on that front side? That I know that a lot of times there's a lot that can be lost in translation.
Oh yeah, that's kind of been one of the things that I really found that made me love this job so much is because I'm working hand in hand with, whether it's an actual, like the contractor, or if I'm working with the actual homeowner that's, you know, building this new home, they're coming to see me and we're working for hours on end on picking out the lighting. So it's kind of nice having that personal interaction where sometimes it can get lost if you're not careful. But, you know, that's kind of something that I really strive for, and something that, like, I enjoy when my customers add me as a friend on Facebook, and, you know, that you kind of break down that barrier of the business versus, you know, kind of mixing the two. I mean, obviously you gotta be careful in some points, but it's kind of fun. That's kind of something too that I think that made me really like the job too, because it is just, you know, people, it's a people job. And so that's been something that I've really enjoyed. Something that I know is one of my strengths is that I can work with a lot of people, get along with a lot of people. So that's kind of something that I like really kind of took it and ran with it. And kind of that's something that I used to sell, you know, myself and Inline, like, hey, not only, you know, when I'm talking to builders, that sort of thing, like, not only am I going to like give you the best price, the best customer service to you, but I'm also going to do that to your customers who are an extension of your business. So kind of figuring out that sweet spot has been, and then now it's like, you know, an everyday easy thing that I don't really even have to think about. So,
So what what brought you to Birmingham? Was it Inline specifically, or were you thinking something is happening in Birmingham and I want to be there? Or?
Yeah, so I'm from Huntsville originally and then went to school at University of Alabama. So I actually did an internship in New York when I was in grad school. And of course, the summer that I was up there,
Right.
I was like, yes, I'm going to do this. I want to move here when I graduate. But then it was like slowly as the summer ended and I realized I'm going to have to make how much to to live a comfortable life. And so kind of as that, I was like, I'll always have New York to visit, but I don't think I want to live there. Birmingham just kind of kept coming up. Both of my older siblings lived here, so I had a connection there. So it just kind of was a natural progression. So yeah, it'll be 5 years in May. But like I said, having my older brother and older sister here, when I was in college, I would always come stay with them and do things, and kind of seeing that Birmingham revitalization. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got here like right at the very beginning of it, kind of right before it blew up. So that's been awesome getting to be here for that. There's something new, I would say, to do a new restaurant, new brewery, new site, new, whatever it might be. The museum doing a new exhibit. It's, there's just always, you really don't feel like you're in Birmingham, but you are, which is, it's kind of now, it's gotten to that point now where I'm like, oh yeah, this is Birmingham. That's natural, it's a natural thing. Like, we've kind of finally moved past the, oh, it's just, I can't believe, like, it's kind of like a well-known, like, well, yeah, I'm going to have something to do this weekend because the city is great.
Certainly. I remember when I moved back 10 years ago, there was usually something to do. Yeah. But there were a lot of times it was just kind of like, oh, well, I need to find something to do. Right. And now I'm usually sitting at home just, there's too much. Yeah. I have to decide between things now.
Exactly.
But it is really exciting. And I grew up in the suburbs, and I remember coming to the Alabama Theater on a weeknight to watch a movie from one of their film series, and my father was terrified. Yeah, oh yeah. And that was the perspective. It's like downtown is just that other place. Yeah. So it was funny for me to come back here, and throughout college, I would travel San Francisco or Boston, and I knew I was going to end up there. Mm-hmm. And I never quite made it. And the thing, we have an internship program at the museum, and we've had interns come through who, there's sort of the glamour of the art world. And our museum is certainly connected to it, but it feels like we're kind of in a bit of an enclave, sort of a sleepier part of the art world. Yeah. So we have interns who, they're determined to make it to New York or San Francisco or LA. And I had a conversation once, Birmingham is a really fun, comfortable place to be. You can have a really nice place to live. You can have a lot of things to do on a regular basis. And it's cheap enough. You can go visit LA and San Francisco and Boston. You can take trips multiple times a year and kind of get all those things in small doses, but then still not be living in a little closet, right? Struggling to, looking at all the great things to do and then counting and I guess I'll eat ramen noodles. Exactly. So it's a place where you can actually go out and enjoy the things it has to offer because you can afford to live here. Yeah, that's very true. So it's been kind of fun watching the interns sort of either deal with or learn. Yeah, scrambling like, oh wait, this is a cool city. Like, exactly. What do I do? Right. So would y'all have any new exhibits coming up or something that you've been working on? Yeah, so in January, at the end of January, the 28th will be the opening day for Third Space, which is going to be the largest exhibition of contemporary work pulled from our permanent collection. It will have some loans to kind of fill in some gaps and whatnot, but it's going to be the largest contemporary exhibition we've pulled together. And it really focuses on looking at a lot of global issues through the lens of the South. Both what it means to be looking at art that addresses migration or exile or image and representation. What do those things mean when you're looking at them in Birmingham? Because with the history of Birmingham, it shades all of those perspectives. But then the South itself has such a rich storytelling history, and these pieces are a visual storytelling of these issues. So we've been planning it for 18 months, 24 months, something like that. And at the time, we thought it was going to be a very relevant exhibition, but now more so than ever with the refugee crisis that's happening in Europe and Syria, or issues in the U.S. With political movements like Black Lives Matter, or just the sort of situation we find ourselves post-election.
Yeah.
Everything's a little
on
edge, exactly. So this exhibition is going to, I think, be far more relevant than we ever expected. And we plan to have a number of programs throughout the run of the exhibition, bringing artists in to talk about it, or doing things to bring people in to really explore the issues and have a lot of that storytelling happening as well.
Yeah.
To bring people into the exhibition as an embodiment of this idea of a third space, where you're apart from sort of all of those things, where you can really just think about them, reflect on them, and then hopefully relate to other people, and relate to other perspectives.
Yeah.
So,
well, it was really nice talking to you, and I definitely want to check out the exhibit. It starts in January.
Yes.
And what's it running till?
January 28th will be the opening day. January 27th, that Friday night, is kind of the opening party.
Oh, cool.
Which will probably be a pretty big event.
Yeah. Well, good.
We like to get as many people in for the exhibition openings as we can, just to start that word of mouth. But, so opening night, the 27th, and then officially opening the 28th. And the really exciting and challenging aspect of the show is it will be up for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And there will be a number of rotations within it, so it won't always be the same. Same art, and then also bringing those programs in throughout the 2-year run of the show to renew interest and bring an artist in to talk and share a new perspective on something, so that hopefully as people return and visit more than once, they'll see new things each time they see it, and learn new things.
Yes.
So, but it's been lovely meeting you as well.
Yeah.
Finding out what you've been doing in Birmingham.
Yes, two very different careers, but I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's an exciting time.
Yeah.